Shalom, shalom. Imagine what from Yahawashi. Alright? Alright, Kahalaima, Alahayanawa,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahusha, Ba'ashem, Kodash.
Alright, I want to give the honors, sponsor elders of your millstone, shalom. Sincere brothers out there teaching you sincerity. Alright, for the Hebrew Israelites, I got here once again. Alright, to prophesy the downfall of Esau's kingdom and to bring remembrance of the children of Israel, which consists of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, to bring them back to our power, which is Yahweh. Alright, to our Lord, Yahawashi. So it's Yahweh Bahashem, Yahawashi. Yahweh means he is. Bahashem means in the name. Yahawashi means he saves or he delivers in the daily Hebrew tongue, which is the original tongue spoken that you can only like. It is the original tongue that, and the only tongue that you can call upon those names. Right? The original Hebrew tongue. Alright? The one that just can't set edifying our two brothers out there, and exhorting our two brothers out there. Alright? Through the spirit. I really, I remember at the job we can start this lesson off with discipline. I've been really wanting to talk about that. Right? Because coming into this truth, you have to completely rewire and reform your entire mindset. Right? To arm it just like Yahawashi Mashiach. Right? But there's some men out there, and there's some men out there that lack discipline. And while being in the truth, you have to discipline yourself. And we all of us sometimes fall short on it. But at the end of the day, you must try the best of your ability. We all have to self-discipline ourselves. Alright, this is the discipline of faith. Alright? Because at the end of the day, we're disciplining ourselves through the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahawashi Yahawashi. Though we're not subjected onto the laws, we're subjected under Yahawashi. And it's through Yahawashi's approval that we can even gain grace. All right. So we have to rewire and reform our heads to be like the ways of the ancients, to be like the ways of our forefathers, the one that followed the Heavenly Father and His Son. Because through that discipline, are you made seen blameless and spotless to Yahweh Yahawashi. All right. So once again, once you come into this truth, you gotta put away the foolish thoughts and the lust that you had before coming into this truth, the lust of men. So let me actually get that in Ephesians. This is Ephesians chapter 1 verse 2. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 1. And it says, and you had actually everybody get that. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 1. If anybody doesn't got any precepts. I'm gonna also get Ephesians chapter 4. I don't want to stuff. Alright, you got it? Ephesians chapter 2 verse 1. I got it. Alright, so this is Ephesians chapter 2 verse 1. It says, and you hath he quickened who were dead in trespasses. I don't remember if this is somebody somebody get the word quicken. Interlinear. Yeah, just search up the entomology. I mean the entomology. For some reason, that's not the word there. It's a phrase. That's like.
Quicken. Come to life. This is the word quicken in etymology. Come to life, give life too.
Yeah. So Yahawashi, he raised us from the dead, just like what it says in Ezekiel. All right, we were a valley of dry bones. You know, and since, you know,
To animate, recreate, revive, renovate,
here,
vivify.
let me continue again. It says, and you have been quickened, who were dead in trespasses and sins, wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world. That means if you're walking in according to this world, you're dead. You're a dead man. All right, you're walking like mindless sheep out here, like mindless cattle. Exactly how the higher up bacon families want you to walk. All right, because they're the true rulers of this world. Because he that controls the money controls the people. All right, they're the true rulers of this world. The so-called white man, the top bacon families. Doesn't matter which nation. All right, all of them have a hand in it. But Esau's ruler over all of them, because the world was given to Esau, to the wicked. Alright? So continuing, it says, wherein in time past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh the children of disobedience. And you can see that amongst our people especially. You know? Because there's so much in the dead state, there's so much in the world that they act like brute beasts out here. They're super undisciplined, like a beast. You know, just as the scriptures say, as natural brute beasts. You know, we mentioned it last mini camp. You know, and you can see an example that came up to us. You know, didn't want to listen to a word that we said. You know, it was just coming over here causing strife. Trying to cause strife. You know? We can't talk, we can't speak to the dead like that. Who has the desire to be dead. But Yahawashi, he raised us from the dead. He changed the way our mind was. The way our mind was before this truth, it was literally a dead state. No gain. But coming to the truth, it's literally, how do I say it? Before coming to the truth, it felt like a memory, like a foggy memory. Like I can barely remember it. But coming to the truth, I can remember like it all. You know? And it's literally like two separate lives, and it really is like that. Because just like it says that he quickened us, which is Yahawashi. Yahawashi raised us from the dead, or Yahawashi raised us from the dead, and we're made new through this word. All right, and he nourished us with discipline, because that's the ultimate what's the word? That's the ultimate reason why Yahweh created the heavens, the Yahawashi and the angels of old, or the Alahayim. All right, and the 144,000 created the heavens and the earth through the blueprint of Yahweh. The whole purpose is to create man in his image, man in the image of the Heavenly Father, and that's who? the children of Israel ultimately, because he's the one. I mean, they're the ones who are nourished with discipline, that were given the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, but we constantly fall off because we were governing in the flesh. All right. So let me actually continue one more. Among whom also we had our conversation in times past, in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling desires of the flesh and of the mind. You know, what felt comfortable to you, and you stopped doing things that were uncomfortable to you. But every time it's something of the spirit, your body sees it as uncomfortable and you don't want to do it. You know, you want to go like for example, you want to pray, but you're too tired, and you go like, oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'll do it as the first thing I do in the morning. The morning comes and you're too sluggish to pray. You're like, you know, you don't want to do it. You know, or when you're fasting, or when you want to fast, more like, and you want to fast, yet you feel too hungry. You feel too hungry that you're gonna go like, I'll do it tomorrow. And that tomorrow turns in the next day, and the next day after that. You know, and that if you're doing that, you're walking after the lust of the flesh. Because you have to discipline yourself through the spirit. All right, because the spirit has its own desires, and the flesh has its own desires. But since we're in this flesh, this wicked flesh, the flesh overpowers the spirit. But we, through this truth, we have to have the spirit overpower the flesh. All right, we have to overcome it. We got to get through it. You know, that's what it means to have a fight, because you're fighting against your own flesh and your spirit. Because before coming to this truth, we were of the flesh. We didn't even give two thoughts about the spirit. We thought that was just our inner, our was it how to say it? Our heart. How do I say it? You know how they show in cartoons the angel and the devil? The angel is the spirit, the devil is the flesh. The conscience, yeah. You got that inner conscience, like especially with the alphabet community, especially with the Jakes in the alphabet community, they can feel and they can feel that it's not right. That feeling is your spirit. Your flesh is doing what it wants to do, but that feeling is your spirit. And a lot of people out here, they don't rule themselves in the spirit, because ruling themselves in the spirit is a gift from the Father, and that's what ultimately gives you the faith. Because if you're ruling in the flesh, you won't have faith. You will walk as carnal as the people out here, walking foolishly, but in their eyes, they're walking with wisdom. You know, in their eyes, it's just like what Esau says: do what you will, and that's the mindset of the flesh. That's why it says, through envy of the devil came death in the world. And people are still walking with that envy. They wanna grow up, be successful, and put their inheritance upon their children. But all that successfulness is all through the flesh, but not of the spirit. And it's not everlasting, because you will eventually die. Yeah, it brings a massive pride. So continuing, it says, so I'm going to start again. It says, among whom also we had our conversation in times past, to the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. You know, and the children of wrath is ultimately Esau. You know, he's the physical counterpart of spiritual Satan, who is an angel at the left-hand side. Esau's a physical counterpart. He's the children of wrath. He's the children of destruction, the sons of perdition. All right, and through envy of him, the world became even more wicked. You know, And that's why this world is going through a whirlpool of destruction. And it's about to reach the drain. Circling down the drain. Yeah. You know? This is how the world's going through right now. Because everybody wants to be like the so-called white man. You know, Jake wants lighter pigmentation while Esau wants darker pigmentation. Because Esau knows. You know?
Everybody wants to be trendy. Everybody wants to go along what everybody else does.
Yeah, but you know, but at the end of the day, it's all carnal because it isn't about your skin color. It's about your heritage from your fathers. All right. So if a so-called white man goes out with a Judite lady, all right, or any Jake with dark pigmentation, and the kid comes out with dark pigmentation, you know, that kid's still an Edomite. So continuing with this, but Yahweh, who is rich in mercy, and for his great love, wherein he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, hath quickened us together, has raised us up from the dead, with the Mashiach Yahawashi. By grace ye are saved. Alright? And what truly makes us alive is that discipline. You know? Walking like Yahawashi Mashiach. You know? Wake it up, watch your videos. You know? Meditate on it day and night. You know, follow the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. You know, following the high holy days and the new moons and the Sabbaths. Like right now is a new moon. So if I haven't said it in the beginning, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. To all you Akim and Aquat, or Aquat. I'm gonna put a Muslim story to it. All right. So continuing. And he hath raised up together and made us sit together in the heavenly places with a Mashiach Yahawashi. And I think that's it there. Let me get a before I get a little bit of a feed for you.
That's pretty much it.
Live prosperously. Yeah, because yo, I'm gonna read come to think of it, I recommend because this is, I forgot to mention, but this is kind of like a land bank with the brothers from I forgot what the location is. Mrs. Kingdom. Oh, Birmingham. Yeah, the brothers from Birmingham. If you guys haven't subscribed to that channel, this is the Kingdom. I think it was a trilogy. What was it?
I think it was. Yeah, you know,
It was something like that. But you know, it's spirit memory back here because I was just thinking about it.
also yes, it does have trilogy. Oh, it's Mr. Kingdom. It's that trilogy.
Actually, before I actually started that, let me get Ecclesiastes.
This is one of my favorite.
Actually, no, I'm not. this is Wisdom of Solomon. Actually, no, you should start at Ecclesiastes 18. You should just go through it. Yeah, you could start at the top on Wisdom. Ecclesiastes chapter 18, because yeah, just started off. Oh, 17, yeah. 17. I'll read 18.
This Ecclesiasticus 17:1. The Lord created man of the earth and turned him into it again. He gave them few days in a short time, and power also over the things therein. He endued them with strength by themselves, and made them according to his image, and put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. He received the use of the 5 operations of Yahawashi, and in the 6th place he imparted them understanding, and in the 7th speech an interpreter of the congregation
Congregations, yeah.
thereof, counsel and a tongue, and the eyes, ears, and a heart gave he them to understand. Withal, he filled them with the knowledge of understanding, and shew them good and evil. He set his eyes upon their heart, that he might shew them the greatness of his works. He gave them to glory in his marvelous act forever, that they might declare his works with understanding.
And for all of that, with all of that, you must have discipline to even understand those works, because that was his intention. That was his intention with all of the congregations. Congregations. With all of those operations. He gave that all. He gave that all for the very purpose. It was actually a future purpose. It was actually a future purpose, because just as the saying from let's just say creators or authors is that the author has to write the ending before the beginning. Yahweh's intention for creating the heavens and the earth was to create man in his image. And that's referring to his chosen. He wanted to, since the beginning of all creation, he wanted men in his image, in the likeness of his image. And that's what, knowing both good and evil in the ways that he sees, and it basically making gods on earth, to have them just like unto himself. All right, so you see angels, they're all good, they're all holy and righteous. All right, they're on the right hand side, and then you got demons. They're angels on the left hand side that knows only evil. That knows only evil. But of course, they all fear Yahawashi above all, because he's right in the middle, knowing good and evil, and he's the Lord of all. Just as the scriptures say, he's 2 and 2. 2 and 2. He has that balance. You know? Yeah. So Baba Kushak, continue. Just that one verse real quick. 10.
And the elect shall praise his holy name.
And why is that? It's because the elect, we're going through this this trial right now, so that we can learn discipline, so we can be forged, our mind to be forged, to be like unto him. You know, we're all being forged into kingly mindsets and godlike mindsets. All right, knowing why people get put to death. They get put to death because it's judgment. They're living out their judgment. All right. And why the earth is in the state it's in right now? It's for our trial, and for the destruction of Esau and all these heathens that are ruling the earth right now. So Yahweh's name could be known across all the four corners of the earth. Though he can make it known in a snap of his finger, but he won't be able to show off his power. He won't be able to show off his power if he just does that. You know, that's why he did all those plagues and curses upon Egypt, and the redemption of Israel during that time. And though and his name faded over the years, but this one is good. This redemption, this salvation, this exodus that's going to be here in Babylon the Great, America, it's going to be far greater. And he's going to destroy and take all the crowns off the kingdoms of the heathens' heads. All right, through the way of Yahawashi. All right, so we have to flee from this kingdom's mindset, from this kingdom, by leaving the mindset of this kingdom, by not being dead like these people out here. That's why this place is considered hell. You know, because it's used as a representation from the valley of I think it was Gehenna, where the Israelites, when they're worshiping idols, were sacrificing onto the idols, sacrificing their children, burning them into the valley of Gehenna. So Gehenna, for the valley of Gehenna, is hell. That's where the word hell comes from. You know, that's where the word hell originates from. And this place is being used for the what's the word? For a representation of that valley. That valley is a representation of how basically this place is. You know? You got the dead laying out, and they're all gonna be burned up. This place, which is Babylon the Great, America, is going to be hell. It's going to be that bottomless fiery pit. Alright? Yeah. So we ought to follow the law, statutes, commandments the best of our ability, and go back to Yahawashi and follow the law, statutes, commandments the best of our ability. Put it like that. You know? Go back to the ways of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, putting our trust upon Yahweh. Why Yahawashi? Alright? So, Baba Kusha, you can see.
Beside this, he gave them knowledge in the law of life for inheritance. He made an everlasting covenant with them and shewed them his judgment. Their eyes saw the majesty of his glory, and their ears heard his glorious voice. And he said unto them, beware of all unrighteousness. And he gave every man commandment concerning his neighbor.
Yeah, you had natural laws. These are the natural laws, if I remember correctly.
Their ways are ever before him, and shall not be hid from his eyes. Every man from his youth is given to evil. Neither could they make to themselves fleshy hearts for stoning.
You can see it. So even King David, even though King David was a man after his own heart, he's still, huh?
After the most, it's after the Psalm
That's what I said.
No, you said own heart.
No, I was referring to that scripture. That's what. Yeah. So he's a man after the Most High's heart. There, I say it like that. He still committed sin. Because no man can make a fleshy heart for stoning. All right,
For in the divisions of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion, whom being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, doth not forsake him.
Yeah, and that's how Yahawashi was made perfect. He was made perfect by what? He has to be compared to something to be made perfect. He must follow a certain way to be seen perfect and made perfect unto Yahweh. And that's the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? And it's not just the actually the law, statutes, and commandments. They literally got everything we need to walk about in our everyday life. And how Yahawashi walked, he's shown us how he successfully done it. He paved the way for us. All right, he paved the way for us. He showed us to walk after the Spirit and not after the flesh. He condemned the sinful flesh through the way of the Spirit. Though his Spirit was stronger than ours, he still made that way. He made that way so we can also walk that path. He made that way through his blood. All right. So through that discipline which he was made perfect by, he's comparing us with that very same discipline. Yahawashi is the judge whether you're a disciplined man or not. Because discipline is not just a way you speak. All right? It's not just how do I say it?
It's like an order. Having order.
It's rules. I mean, like for example, a routine, a schedule. As you discipline yourself so you can be so you can make that schedule perfect. But if you start falling off that schedule, you're lacking discipline.
This is just simple definition of discipline: the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior, using punishment to correct disobedience. And that's
the curses.
Some punishment is not meant to hurt. Some punishment is simply just chastising. And which when somebody rebukes you, it's not just plain old just punishment. It's to teach you something.
Oh, it won't be punishment then. But it'll be trying. That's the word. It's trying.
It still goes. It's chastising. It still goes to punishment because when you read the Spanish scripture, it say castigo. That's like it's just a form of direction. It's like disciplining a child. Or when you whip a child because he's doing bad, that's a form of discipline. As long as you're instructing him what's right and wrong. That's all. Yeah. You have to whip him with instructions, and that's pretty much like we get whipped till we get straight. It's like that old TV show. There was an old TV a reality show. It's called Scared Straight. But even though that's not that form that Yahawashi was teaching, it's through the instruction discipline and chastisement. You know, that you had to learn fear in order to, you know, and then gain wisdom, you know, because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So therefore, you then that way when you discipline and you still in that truth, you start to grow with it because you're learning from it as you go. I don't want to keep ranting, but it's similar to discipline, similar to control, regulation, direction, order, authority, rule, strictness, a firm hand.
It says it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the Father.
Right.
Yahawashi.
Yes, Yahawashi has the ultimate firm hand.
Yeah, and that's why through grace we were able to be kept upon our hand. And the chastisement that we go through, I see it more as more of a trying than a punishment. Because even if you're trying your hardest to let's just say obtain that crown, the chastisements to make you stronger and harder towards being more disciplined.
Right, I'll give you another example. You see Esau got these the J going to the army, but you know that's what they got the word drill sergeant. The word drill is to drill something in your hand. What's it in there? Discipline you enough till you learn and harden you. You know, that's another word here that says drill. See, instruction. It's to keep that routine.
Oh, look at that exercise.
Exercise.
You know, exercise. You know, if you want to gain muscles, you have to discipline yourself. You have to discipline yourself to endure through all the pain and everything like that. Right. And your flesh is like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired, type of thing, and you still push it through. You know, there's certain people that have that kind of thing, even though they don't have the spirit. If they're willing to do that, you know, coming through this truth, it's that form, but through your mind, because you have to discipline your mental capabilities. All right, so you gotta force yourself. That's why it means to put away your fleshly lusts, because you want to do your wants more than your needs. All right, you want to do your wants more than your needs.
You think a wider scale when Yahawashi come over here and set fire, coming from fire, set, you know, coming from destruction. The earth is going to get hurt in the process, but what's going to come on the other side? The earth is going to grow more rich, and it's like all life. You know, you see how Esau also trying to come out with solutions on how to kill bacteria, but now he's coming to the point that he can't even control it anymore. You know why? Because it's growing more firmly now. You know, it's like the earth is being disciplined to a point, ultimately by Yahawashi.
And it's all, we're all subject to the same. Right. But all that same is subjected on waiting for the manifestation of the children of Yahawashi. So until the children of Yahawashi are let's just say disciplined enough to be taken up, right, as Yahawashi did, you know, that's when things change. You know, and this is what we're being forged into. Oh, I think that's a word for discipline as well. Being forged, you know, being strengthened. You know, but yeah. So it's like this entire thing that we're going through, all of that is discipline, right? From the way you walk, to the way you look at things, to the way you think, to the way you talk. All the congregations, all the congregations, it says the congregations that it says there, all the operations of the Lord that He's bestowed upon men. All of those need to be disciplined. All of those need to be made right. Because when we come into this truth, we're not walking in the ways of the flesh no longer. You know, that's what the dead walk at. You know, that's what makes us like. That's what makes us so different from this world. That's what makes us outside of this world. Because our mindset is completely different from this world. because we were disciplined, and we're still being disciplined.
You know, like being slothful, you know, which is like that's pretty much opposite, because you're not disciplined. Being slothful, it's no different than just being dead, because you can't grow. You can't grow. You basically go backwards. Being slothful, you know, it's like that old saying. They say, what is it? An idle mind, it's the devil's playground. You know, I think I heard it from
That's Elder Macala.
Yeah, that's the whole saying. You know, and it makes perfect sense. You know, because and it's like
You're gonna do.
a slothful man is like a dunghill. It's pretty much like being just sitting around. You're pretty much just rotting on yourself, pretty much, because you're not really moving.
Eventually, you're warm at one point, and then you're gonna start drying up.
That dry up comes at the end, though. When you say you just be slothful, you start. I had to exaggerate. It's like you stink of just a slothfulness, pretty much, because you're not really moving. You know, you have to keep moving. You have to get in. You got to get in this truth. You have to keep pushing the gospel, no matter what. You know. Another thing is like when you're pushing the gospel. You know, discipline it. No matter what, no matter how much your flesh tells you not to, there are times you can't hold back. Push it anyways. You know, that's another way.
If you don't do it, you're not gonna do it.
And you know, it's Yahawashi is not gonna find no pleasure in it. You know, if you hold back. You have to you gotta say it anyway. Your flesh can go like, but you know that's actually Satan in the end. You know, doing his job. You still gotta say it.
That's why you need a desire of something.
Right.
In this truth, that's why we need something like a sort of a prize, so we can push yourself to obtain it. You know, that's why this truth is it has different ways to describe it. It's like a fighting thing. You're fighting for your life. It's like a race. You're fighting for that crown. You know, it's like a water on one side, fire on the other. It's like a life and death situation. There's different forms of things that you can see this walk as. You know, and that's why the best thing ever is desire. Because when you have the desire of something, you push yourself the hardest. When you have desire of and wants of something, you push yourself the hardest. So if that want is something that is of the flesh, you're going to push yourself the hardest in the flesh. But if that's something that you can only obtain through the Spirit, you're going to push yourself through the Spirit. But that's ultimately a gift. All right?
That's what it is true. It is true. You got to keep going. You have to keep pushing.
And that's what diligent means.
You know,
when you're diligent, you're disciplining yourself to push. You know, to constantly push without end until you obtain.
You can't walk off this job. This is a different. You walk up this job, you're pretty much fired.
You're fired, literally.
You're fired. And you know what? The difference between the fire from this world and the fire that Yahawashi is coming is that fire will pursue you. That fire will follow you. It's literally a fire.
All of us brothers out here, we've been disciplining ourselves so we can even come out here. You know, and just like one of the elders from what was his name? The one, I think it was. No, not your one. It starts with an A. The brother from Dallas, Ariala. I think it was Ariala. Not entirely sure. But the brother from Dallas made a lesson. I think it was talking about something similar to this. And he mentioned, what was it? Damn. It slipped my mind. Damn, that sucks, man. No, I forgot exactly how we went. The word that he used. Yeah, I forgot. Damn. Yeah. Man, let's just keep going. I'm actually, I think that was pretty much it. Actually, no, continue a little bit more, but it's stop at 21. You ended up at 16. Oh, wait. No, 18.
No, I wasn't. No, I didn't read it. I didn't read 15.
No. Oh, wait.
I got it. Let's turn the page.
It's we're on 18.
All right, this is Ecclesiasticus 17 and 18. Whom being his firstborn, he nourished in Salakia. Whom being his firstborn, he nourished with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, doth not forsake him.
Yeah.
Therefore, all their works are as the sun before him, and his eyes are continually upon their ways. That's the righteous.
And that's why we have to be prepared with something. You know, that's how Yahawashi, Yahweh's eyes were upon Yahawashi during his walk. You know, and Yahawashi was considered perfect in the eyes of Yahweh, considered good. Though Yahawashi, he always gives praise to Yahweh. He never calls himself good. Not once has he called himself good. You know? But he wanted his meat was to do the will of the Father. And, you know, with all of that, he had to discipline himself through all of that walk. But he had a spirit to do it too. And that's beautiful. Because he gave us, Yahawashi, he gave us a similar order like the Father gave unto him. Now we have to do the work. Now our desire should be doing this work. Alright, so we can obtain the truth. Alright?
The alms of a man is as a signet with him.
I think that was it. Let me read a little bit of let me read 18, chapter 18. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 18. Actually, before that, let me read
I've been warning people about that for a long time. That's coming.
yeah. Yes,
Those
it
shots
is.
is just a prelude to that.
Yeah.
Yo, today I already know.
Don't take that. Don't
That's the
take
mark
that.
of the beast.
Yes, it is. You won't receive any salvation whatsoever if you don't know the Heavenly Father's name and His Son.
Exactly. Right?
And returning back to the way. You know you're an Israelite, right?
Huh?
You're an Israelite. You see down here, what tribe are you from?
What's your background?
These are just the general locations where they are.
I'm black, Indian, and Cuban.
From your father's side. What's from your father's side?
Indian and Cuban.
So it might be-
There's no mix, but
Well, at least it's Israel.
yeah, at least
You know,
you're still Israel.
Right?
That's true.
So you might be either Manasseh or Gad. Is that Gad? Right there.
Yeah. I've been talking about that for years.
You know the Heavenly Father's name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Believe in Christ. Yahshua.
No.
Huh?
The Heavenly Father's name. That's the Father of the Messiah. His name is Yahweh. Yes, He is. All right. That's a Paleo Hebrew. All right. The ancient Hebrew. All right. His son's name is Yahawashi. Yahawashi means He saves or He delivers the Paleo Hebrew. Yah means He. Yahawashi means saves or delivers. All right. You gotta return back. You gotta return back onto the ways of our forefathers through the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? You have to do that to the best of your ability, which is the whole purpose of why the Mashiach, which means anointing, or what this world calls Christ, died for us.
You know, some people got that already.
Yes, it is.
Because some jobs require that to open up doors and stuff like that. Yeah, I've been talking about that a long time.
Switzerland is number one, and you know that, but it's all over now. It's part of Australia,
And people try to,
Wisconsin.
then when you talk to people about that, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist.
That's-
Like, this is real.
Yeah.
And that's-
But right when the dollar crashes, this is what they're bringing in through the CBDC. You can search that up.
And they
Central bank digital currency.
They just had a meeting at the
Yes.
CBDC about what they're going to go about. You know,
The
and
rise of the Antichrist, all of that's coming, yeah?
The Antichrist is already here. The
been here.
There's actually more than one.
Yeah.
And that's all of them. That's everybody who doesn't believe in Yahawashi. They're anti-Mashiach, anti-Christ.
In other words, like simply, if you reject the words of the Father and Son, you know, you basically become antichrist because you anti that. You're not,
Whoever doesn't take that, they're going to kill you. Yeah. Well, I just
So,
wanted to
this
stop
is
and
got-
say hi, man.
this is when they're going to
Hi,
afford
'cause I'm always talking about that with people, yeah?
this right here. This they're gonna when they come in here doing that martial law, they're gonna try to force people in the very end when they run out of patience. They're gonna try to force people to that chip.
Y'all always out here?
Every Monday and Wednesday.
I'll see y'all again.
Make sure to repent unto Yahweh Yahawashi. You don't want to walk in the ways of this world because you're going to eventually take that. If you are going to start to be hungry and thirsty,
Yes, a famine
you're
is
going to
coming.
take that.
That famine is coming.
You got to return and being an Israelite.
Yeah, that's definitely coming. Yeah.
You see the
We've been
news
talking about
going
that
on.
for a long time, man.
If you don't have the names Yahweh Yahawashi, you ain't going to be delivered in that day. So make sure you repent unto those names.
You see what's going on with the economy and all that. Bottleneck, supply chain, all that. That famine is coming. You see the supermarket shelves. There's some things they can't get in. Not too long ago, they had a shortage of baby formula, and now they have a shortage of what is it? Women's what is it, Mexican? They had a shortage of that too. You know, it's going to be more. It's going to be more.
Yeah,
It's coming.
it's going to be. There's a huge famine coming. A huge famine coming. Though people, you know, they still see food on the shelves and stuff like that. You know, according to prophecy, it says that what is it? Let me actually get that really quick.
You're gonna see products, and it's already happening. There's some products that are smaller than the larger products.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 21. It says, "Behold, visual shall be good cheap upon the earth, and they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils go upon the earth, sword, famine, death, and confusion." And this is just going to increase. And over here in America, it's going to be the worst, absolute worst. And if you don't have the names of Yahweh, which is the Heavenly Father, and His Son Yahawashi, you're going to be included with that, whether you take this or not. All right? So you better return on to being an Israelite, my man. That's all I gotta say.
Right
That's all I gotta say.
Like I was saying, this like you're gonna see in the supermarket like right now. They're having specials overlapping another special. And then you determine like, oh, I go for that one. That was big. You know, that other special.
The ultimate reason why
They're
things
overstocked.
the ultimate reason why things are going on sale and why things are cheap is for those companies to bring up on money before they transfer it into a different currency.
Yeah.
Because the dollar is crashing.
Because like, you're familiar with the bitcoins and cryptocurrency and all that. You notice that not just the stock market was going on a roller coaster, but also the cryptocurrency is going on a roller coaster. And at the same time, that never happened like that because it's a transition going on. It's going from the physical money to the digital money.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
All right.
All right. Make sure to repent. You gotta repent unto Yahweh Yahawashi.
Take care now. It always seems like one day we're trying to get away.
Yeah, I know.
We're trying to get away. Instead of letting go, you know, sometimes up to Yahawashi and we try to wake him up. Nah, that's our job is to push this word, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because men have to be motivated through fear. Though that guy said he's not going to take that, he doesn't show fear towards it. Because it's thermonuclear fire that these people are going to perish. Should have mentioned that.
Right. And you know, how many times this happened? And Jake said, I ain't going to do it. And they end up doing it anyway. You know, just like the Hopi Popo.
Yeah.
You know? They caved on that.
Yeah, we witnessed that firsthand at the warehouse. You know how many people say, oh, I ain't taking the vaccine. I ain't taking the vaccine.
Hell, bro.
I'm slow.
Circumspect. See the whole people. Yeah, it is.
Slip of the tongue, slack.
Son.
Yeah, there were some people that didn't want that. There were other people that were willing. And you know,
Yeah, so that's what people are not disciplined. Yeah, it still falls in the same place. People are not disciplined enough, you know, to even resist the instinct.
they know that here.
Yeah, and what ultimately disciplines us, that we force ourselves to discipline, is fear. Because there's a lot of things that can force you to fight for something. It's fear, it's desire, you know, anything like that. Fear is the ultimate form, really. Desire goes in second place. Fear is the ultimate form. Yeah, that's basically what's ultimately making us fight for the crown. Because we don't want to be in that oven of weeping and gnashing of teeth, which is going to be here. We don't want to perish through ICBM missiles, which is hotter than the surface of the sun. Hell no. Hell no, bro. I don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to be one of those fucking, like a similar to the pillar of salt of Sodom and Gomorrah. You don't want to be like Lot's wife.
We telling Israel, like, you don't want to become a pillar of salt. We're telling Israel, you don't want to burn. Yeah, I'm not gonna say pillar of salt, but you know, you don't want that judgment to come to them. Telling them there's good things if you come back to the word. You know, we telling them that this is the only way. But no, Israel don't want to hear it. Israel wants to boast. Israel wants to scoff. Israel wants to square on you. They say, oh, my blood, yo, what you doing here? Israel just want to walk by. They hear it, say, oh well, I don't know. Just keep going. Others just come over here just to take pictures, and that's it. You never see them again.
Yeah, right.
You know, they show interest, but they're not really showing interest. They pretty much want to be entertained, pretty much. You know,
Men walk after their own lusts, after their own selves. You know, because shit. All right, let me read chapter Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 11. It says, "Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found as such as seek her. She prevented them that desire her, and maketh herself first known unto them. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors." And that, you know how that is? Like when we just so happen, you know, when we're doing our own, because all of us brothers, we all have our own testimonies to how we came into the truth. Every single one of us, you know. Though it might be the same for you know, when it comes to family members, they woke up at the same time, but every brother that's outside of this, that's outside of this brotherhood over here, you know, every one of you have your own testimony, and many of you, you know, you on the highways and byways, and you just so happen to see the Akim out there teaching, and you know, through the Spirit, it compelled you to come over and listen to what they're saying. And that spirit I'm talking about that same spirit that says, to look behind you, that this is the way, walk in it, type of spirit. Like this is it. And that's literally you're just doing your own thing, and you just so happen to find wisdom. You just so happen to find wisdom through the apostles and elders, we're most on down. All right. So continuing, it says, "To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watches for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, and showed herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought." And that's especially what you need for discipline. You need wisdom. And wisdom gives you allows you to be circumspect. I have to rephrase it. Allows you to be circumspect. And being circumspect allows you to be disciplined. Discipline allows you to be holy. That is, if you're being disciplined in the ways of the holy. Because you only need you need wisdom for that in the first place. Because you can be disciplined in anything. But being disciplined in wisdom, allows you to be holy. I'm not done. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. The desire of discipline, that ultimately is what our desire towards receiving salvation, our desire to receiving that crown, our desire to be with Yahawashi, the desire ultimately to be holy. With all of that, wisdom gives onto you discipline. Alright? So the true beginning of her is desire of discipline. And the care of discipline is love. And the love is keeping of her laws, the law, statutes, and commandments. And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption maketh us near unto Yahweh. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. Yeah.
Shalom.
Yo, shalom.
Peculiar treasure.
It's one of the brothers with the Thon. Brother from LA. Yeah. So it says, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, it's like not scepters, scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore. And the ultimate kings are us Israelites, man. Are us Israelites. If we desire a kingdom, if we desire salvation, if we desire Yahawashi, we must discipline ourselves like the way Yahawashi did. That's how he condemned the sinful flesh. Now, once again, a lot of men, they lack discipline, and though we all fall short, there's men that they just give themselves to the flesh. You men are not gonna make it if you have that kind of mindset. And just like once again, as Apostle Tahar says, if you're not increasing in this word, if you're not increasing in this truth, you're not part of the elect. You're not part of the elect if you're not watching videos every single day to the best of your ability, trying to increase in the spirit, trying to pray as much as you can. All right, and fast whenever you can. All right, because with all of that, it allows you to grow. Beg and pray unto Yahawashi because pray means beg. Unto Yahawashi to increase your faith, to increase your wisdom, to allow you to be more disciplined, to control yourself. to control your emotions, because even men have emotions. All right, it's just that we control them a little better than women. But nowadays, there's very effeminate men nowadays that act on their emotions. But coming into this truth, you have to put those emotions. You have to subject them, because that's part of your flesh. You know, emotions like desire and everything like that. Because there's a time and a place for all of that. There is a time and a place for all of that, of all of those emotions. I'm assuming this guy.
But you know,
Sound like it's blank.
sound like you don't take on. But the thing about discipline, somebody, you know, someone, Akim, rebukes you in the truth. Take it, man. Take it.
Yeah.
Face the music. Take it.
Take it, man. If you can't take it and you're acting out your emotions, you're not a disciplined man. You're not following you're not following those instructions. It says here. It's like it says here.
He's like, I know you don't have to leave me. but-
Wherefore set your affection upon my words. This is where your emotions should be. This is where your emotions should be. You know? Set your affection upon my words. Desire them, and ye shall be instructed. If you're acting out on your emotions because some brother rebuked you, you know, if a brother rebuked you and you're acting on your emotions, you're not instructing. You're not disciplined. You know, you're not disciplined at all. Just take it and get corrected. Because look, we brothers over here, we got our fair share of rebukes, man, from the Akim. You know, once upon a time, I'm not gonna lie, I had GMS on my name at one point. You know, that was when I was younger in the truth. But when Apostle Harema made that announcement for all brothers that are not of the ministries to take off GMS from your name, and I did it obediently. You know, and then I you know, I told I put it on the comment board that I had GMS in my name because I was teaching the same doctrine. You know, and then you know, and that was pretty much it. You know, yeah.
By the apostles too. You know?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
You know?
But we took it. We took it, man.
You gotta know how to take it and learn from it.
Yeah,
That's it.
because you look through the spirit, the power of Yahawashi, through the Chakwadash, we can see why we received those rebukes. Because if we continued the way we were doing, we were out of order, and being out of order would lead to our death, as everybody else in this world. We don't want that. We want to enter into the grace. We want to be filled with good works, be furnished with good works. So we're gonna take that, and we're gonna act out on those orders. Oh, that's what the brother from Dallas said. It's hard for men to infiltrate GMS because of the apostles and elders. They put out strict orders. You know, so if there's a CIA agent or some kind of agent inside of the camp, they better be diligent. Is what he said. They better be diligent to be in the to stay undercover. You better be diligent.
Yeah, you gotta know everything there is to everything. And you know what? And some of the things they can't even cover because even their intent is gonna get exposed.
Yeah, their intent since they don't have the spirit, you know, since they don't have the spirit, all they're gonna try to do is be para here, para say, monkey see, monkey do, until then. You know, because at the end of the day, they don't understand what we're talking about. You know, because they're of the world, and we're not of this world. So just said, and I mentioned to my Abba, yesterday, is that how these chariots show up in the skies? And no matter how much you zoom with your camera, you can never see the shape of the chariots. You can only see the lights. You know? And how far they are, yet they look as close as a plane. But even if you zoom up, you still can't see the shape. That is just like the truth. That is just like the truth to the people of this world. You know? We are the light of this. We are the light in the darkness of this world. But it's the truth. The truth to them is as far as those chariots. They can never get close enough to grasp what they are. You know?
That's why the chariots touring around with the Air Force, man.
Yeah.
You know, they can't get close. They shoot so close, but oh man, but yet so far.
Yeah.
You know?
You know? Those chariots, how they show up, is literally like a representation of this truth. How far it is, how far it is, how far from it looks like it's close enough for you to grasp, but still so far. You know what?
The spiritual is it's about to manifest in this world for everybody to see. You know? And you know, when everybody see it, you know, when all eyes see it, they won't be able to handle it.
Yeah, just like what it says in was it Psalm chapter 5? This is referring to the wicked people. It says Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 6. It says, therefore we erred in the way of truth. The light of righteousness had not shined upon us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves on the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. No, they still don't know the chariots. Even though they show up in their areas, even above their military encampments, and they still can't tell what they are.
They see them for, you know, these nations have seen them for centuries, and they don't know what they are, and they'll make up folklores about it. You know, up until now, it's still a folklore when they're trying to say that they're little green man with big eyes or little gray man with big eyes, when it's actually the opposite. You know, so pretty much like huge man with big froze, not big heads.
Oh, let me see that.
Oh yeah, that's some Romans. Let me read the Romans.
This is from Peculiar Treasure, 12 tribes. Romans 12:11. Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation.
Rejoicing in hope, impatient in tribulation.
And when we do rejoicing in hope, we talk about spiritual things. We talk about what's going to happen. What's going to happen when you know, when he comes, or what he's going to do.
When we see the
according to the
chariots.
scripture, you know, when we see this, the chariots,
And if we endure through the tribulation and stuff like that, every time we see the chariots, you know, we rejoice in, you know, because it's confirmation that we're doing well, pretty much. You know, those chariots show up because those chariots show up with these other, sometimes with the other camps, other doctrines. You don't know what they're showing up for.
It could be for many things. It could be because protection, or it could be to toy with Esau. It could be many. It could be a lot of many reasons. You know, you think just like a man has a job, but you know he has multiple extra tasks that he got to do within that same job. You know, well, the angels have the same thing too. You know, little extra here, little extra there. You know. You know, just like when Yahawashi is coming over here to save, but he also coming over here to destroy too. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. And to finish,
But it's the fact that when we're patient in tribulation and we endure through it, you know, and praying when we can and fasting when we can, and all of that, you know, we rejoice every time we see the chariots. We're always giving praises to Yahawashi, Yahawashi. You know, because we are rejoicing in hope that we are doing well, and hope that we will receive salvation. And every time, I don't know if you saw it or not, but the chariots that show up over there in was it North Carolina? The brothers in North Carolina. It was a fleet of them, but they were in a formation.
Huge, so you know, and I'm pretty sure that people over there, they can see it. You know, and they always wondering what's evident. You know.
Not just London, but over there in California. Remember I told you yesterday? I think it was San Antonio. You know, it was out in the distance in the beach, but it
is that
it was
in different angles?
Yeah, it was in three different locations.
Right.
You know, the chariots are making themselves known. Yeah, that's beside the topic though.
Finish this. I'll read it again in case. It's Romans 12:11. Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer.
Continuing instant in prayer.
And that could be a lot of things.
Right when you have that desire of prayer, like yo, I should pray. Do it, because if you don't do it, you're not gonna do it at all.
It could be. Look, you could pray. You could pray in short. You could pray in long, but don't make it too like repetitive. Like you gotta like talk to y'all about something. Pray, you know, pray, ask, beg, you know. Distributing to the necessity of saints, given to hospitality.
Yeah.
So like we talk about spiritual things all the time. Listen to videos, man. Don't get distracted too much. You know. Again, I know I said this last can. You know, you gotta ease up on the distractions. You know, put more time into Yahawashi. You know, the time is short. You don't have time to fuck around. You know, excuse my Swahili.
You also need to know your limits. You also need to know your limits too, because you know, because you're technically feeding the spirit with videos. You know, just like the brothers, they always talk about the attention span of Jake. They always have that 30-minute attention span.
Natural eat.
Yeah, right. And you gotta know your limits. I don't mean like just watching 30 minutes. I just use it as how the brothers say. But when you're watching videos, let's just say you gotta. I can't say any better than know your limit, because once you're watching videos, when you reach a certain point, you're gonna stop listening. You know, you're gonna stop listening and you know, you're just playing. Either that or you know, let's just say, you know, when you eat too much, you're gonna start to regurgitate. You're gonna start puking. So you gotta know when you're full. You gotta know when your spirit is full. Just as you know when your flesh is full, you're gonna feel it. When you know when your spirit is full, you know you're gonna feel it. And just as my Abba says, you know, you also gotta put an ease on those distractions. Because those are like candy. You eat too much candy, you're gonna get cavities.
Right.
You know? So if you're gonna get distracted, that is when your spirit is already full. Alright? That's when your spirit is already full.
And you know, another thing, a lot of I can watch videos You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong when this video is talking about the fall of the kingdom and all that, and this this Edomite came in over here, and this and that, and blah blah blah, and look what happened to her, or look what happened to him. You know, whatever. You know, from music to miscellaneous stuff that happened to the wicked or whatever. You know, you gotta ease up. Okay, there's times for that, but there's times for good lessons. You know, there's time like we're talking about how the spirit rolls, lessons and stuff like that. You know, that's watchable videos, education. You know, Lashawan Kodash, all that. You know, you gotta watch the videos. You gotta educate yourself, not just like talking about what happened, what's going to happen in this.
You're talking about what Apostle Tahar, you know, Apostle Tahar's complaint, because because there's a lot of videos being watched about controversy and strife more than educational videos. That's true. Yeah, that's true. No, because that's what the flesh always wants. It's just entertainment.
Entertainment all the time. It's no different than this world, because this world got all kinds of entertainment, all kinds of things that to take your eyes off the ball, and just look at me. Look at me. Don't look at that. Look at me. This is more fun. That's pretty much how the demon rolls.
It's doing the jest. In a time that is serious, the jester always trying to make a joke to lift up the mood.
Right
but there's no time for jokes. Shut up.
Right.
You know, that's why he's considered a fool.
It's like right now we like in a wasteland. To be a wasteland, physically, you know, and there's a lot of distraction, like Ringling Devils and Barnland Edom Circus.
Yeah.
You know.
We could brothers from Mississippi, or the brothers from Birmingham, they actually got this. But when I read it, I'm like, damn, bro. It says Philippians chapter 3, verse 7. But what things were gained to me, those I counted lost for Mashiach. Yea, doubtless, I counted all things but lost for the excellency of the knowledge of Mashiach Yahawashi, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win a Mashiach. That's basically what we're all disciplining ourselves. All of us are in this too, and going fighting the good fight of faith. This is the whole point of it. The whole point is to win a Mashiach. And to win the Mashiach, to win Yahawashi Mashiach, to win the crown, to win salvation, all of that comes, it falls into place. Yo, get up. I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing?
Rest legs.
No, you're doing rest your legs, not on work.
It's not. I'm still reading along.
Doesn't matter. Alright, so continuing, it says, and be found in him, not having my own righteousness, which is of the law, but which is through faith in a Mashiach. The righteousness which is of Yahweh by faith. You know, at the end of the day, that's all it is about. You know, discipline isn't about self-righteousness. That you discipline yourself better than another brother. What you should be doing is exhorting the brother to do the same as you are. So, like all the other brothers that do, when they do videos about discipline or anything like that, they do that. You know, they cannot say something they're not doing, because Yahawashi condemns that type of thing. Why look at a glint in somebody else's eye? Get the glint out of your eye before saying to somebody else's. Roughly paraphrasing. You know, and that's what it means to exhort. When a brother is well disciplined, and he's trying to discipline another brother, well, he's more like trying to exhort a brother to be more disciplined, because there's a lot of benefits with it, and that's ultimately wisdom, and wisdom will give unto you knowledge as well, Because since you're more disciplined, you're gonna give your time. You're gonna absolutely give your time to receive more knowledge. All right? You gotta force yourself to put away your wants and put your needs first.
Just to throw it out there, this is Luke 14:33. This is from Yahawashi. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he had, he cannot be my disciple. Salt is good, but if salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be seasoned?
Damn.
It is neither fit for the land, nor yet for the dunghill, but men cast it out. He that had ears, let him hear. So like, he that had ears to hear, let him hear.
Shit, man. You also gotta go through experiences as well. Having a choice. Man, we went through that. I'm speaking through experience, you know, with my brothers over here, my father. You know, we had to forsake a lot of things. For the very truth's sake, really. You know. Because at the end of the day, you have to choose which side to take. And
The other side was actually going up to no good.
yeah, it was no good. If you go to restaurant, yeah, it was no good at all.
You know, so it's like you have to choose between that and this. We go for the truth. The hell with the other shit. You know?
Salt is good, but salt that has lost its savor, where it shall he be seasoned. And I think Apostle Hart just mentioned that earlier. I think Apostle Rema quoted Apostle Hart talking about like no, I think it was it was Apostle Hart. He said like steak is good, but steak that is not salted, steak needs salt to be good. But steak that is not salted tastes like crap. That's what he said. It is true. It is true. And being disciplined in this truth, that is your salt. That is your salt to the Father. You know? That is your salt to Yahawashi. So if you're not forsaking everything and following Yahawashi, you don't got salt, man. You need to be disciplined. You need to go out there, be roughened up. You don't need things to comfort you. You don't need those comfortable carnal things. That's what I mean. Alright? You don't need those comfortable carnal things. Go out there with your faith only. You know? And hope. And that's what salts you. That's what causes you to be seen by the Father. That's what causes you to be seen by Yahawashi. That's how you be Yahawashi's disciple. You know, to be a prophet. To come out here like this and openly testifying of Yahweh and Yahawashi.
You know what, though? The world hates you. I mean, Yahawashi will love you.
Yeah.
You know? Because he's recognizing it. He's seeing what you're doing. He's seeing ultimately your intent. Now come over here like it's like a clock in. I gotta do this.
Yeah, the brother from Dallas, he actually made a lesson. That lesson was very much about just like my lesson. Not my lesson, more like the camp's lessons long time ago. Talking about when you come into the truth, you just be as you are. Like, find who you are. Because being an Israelite, it's not an identity. I identify as an Israelite. No, it is you. You just merely found who you are. That is what it is. You know, you found your heritage. You found what your ancestors used to do. Now you just have to find who you are in this truth. How are you going to act on it? He said, what manner of person ought ye to be on all holy conversations and godliness? So coming into finding out that you're an Israelite, you have to find your lot. And that takes a lot of discipline to find yourself. You know? When you come out here, you don't just repeat what brothers say and not have any understanding about it. Because that's para hear, para say. If para hears your words, hears your sentences, para's gonna reenact it. It has no idea what you're saying. Like, what do you mean by that sentence? Para's just repeating it. Alright? So when you come into the truth, you gotta find who you are. You gotta find who you are. Well, all of that requires discipline. So, like I was saying earlier, you know, when you're coming out here, it is not just clock in, clock out, like you mentioned.
Right.
Like you clocked in, you're an Israelite. You're coming out here doing this work, but your mind is far from Yahawashi. Far mind from the intent of having your service be reasonable. All right. Your heart is far from that. So when you clock out, you're gonna go back to being the two-third nigga that you are, and you're dragging your old man. It's like swapping sides. The
Jekyll and
yeah,
Hyde.
it's like, yeah,
Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. Bruce Banner Hall.
Yeah, you gotta
Bruce
you
Wayne
gotta
Banner, you know?
you gotta alter ego.
Alter ego.
Alter ego.
Clark Kent Superman.
Yeah. So when it's like, for example, if you brothers find us out from doing this camp, you know, we're still going to be rehearsing the righteous acts. We're still going to be doing the work. You know, still trying to increase ourselves. That's what you should be doing. If you're not doing it, that's what you should be doing. So when you're on your leisure time, when you got time to yourself, and I ain't gonna lie, me and my brothers, we have a lot of time. All right. So when you have a lot of time, watch videos. If it's not your lot to make videos, because you're not a teacher, like the other brothers, when you make videos, it's not edifying, then don't make videos. But you gotta find your lot, find your work. Don't enter in another man's office, because videos, that's like a department. You got a department with many offices of different type of brothers to make different types of videos. And videos, it's the modern day epistles, modern day letters to each other.
That's another way to get creative. Yeah. Download videos, re-upload them, but it gotta be good lessons, not like nonsense. You know, everything about controversy and entertainment. Nah, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there's some brothers that do that. Like measure the time diligently. The Ephraimite, I think it's the Ephraimite, because how he's on the image, she looks like an Ephraimite. All right, he posts nothing but news videos.
Right, that's a lot.
He doesn't make videos just like that, but he posts news clips. You know, on prophet.
Basically,
that's a measure all the time diligently.
He's being a straight watcher.
Yeah.
You know, just
he's like the newspaper.
Just regular watch. the papers.
The newspaper. Right. He's the news.
GMS News.
GMS News. Oh, I think that's actually a thing.
Yes.
The GMS News.
I suspected it. Yeah.
Truth news.
Yeah, truth news. That's Truth Amman. News Amman. Yeah.
All right.
You know, that's. Let's see. All right. Where the fuck was I? Oh, there you go. I lost myself. Where was I?
Still reading Philippians, right?
I do believe so. I'm gonna start again. 8. It says, "Yea, doubtless, I counted all things, but lost for the excellency of the knowledge of the Mashiach Yahawashi, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win a Mashiach, and be found in him, not having my own righteousness, which is of the law, but which is through faith of a Mashiach, the righteousness which is Yahweh by faith, which is of Yahweh by faith." You know? Damn. Brothers, just find your life. Find your place. We found our place, man. Alright? So, damn.
There's a lot of ways to push the truth. When you download, re-upload videos, and then that's how you spread the gospel that way too. You know,
Yeah,
they gotta be good lessons. They gotta be good lessons.
If you don't do any of that, increase yourself. Increase yourself. Be a sponge. Just be a sponge. If you don't know any of your lots, be a sponge until you figure out what your lot is. You know, if you like to be, if you're an enthusiastic person, you could make enthusiastic videos for brothers. Get some precepts your favorite precepts that increase your spirit. And when you hear a video from a brother that motivated you even more, make a video. It doesn't matter if you have the same precepts. It don't matter because it matters how you apply it. It doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter what the brother knows. It matters how you apply it. That's what matters ultimately.
It's like that one channel. You know, it's not a hockey. It's one of those worldly channels out there. The UFO security. You know, you could do a video about chariots. You know, find news about that. You know, if there's some news that another Akim don't have it got right. Yahawashi just put it right in front of you. You said you notice the other Akim don't have it. Put that in there. Re-upload that.
Yeah.
You know?
And just like certain brothers, they make edits. If you're really good at editing videos, make some edits, man. You know, put some clips together, put some scriptures together. You know, things like that.
Yeah. Get to work.
It's really anything you can do for this ministry. You gotta find yourself. You know, and finding yourself requires discipline because you have to be diligent about it. You gotta be diligent about it. You gotta keep yourself on watch. You can't be idle and putting your hands in your pocket. When you're off of camp, you just go home and you just do what you will. You got to at least watch videos.
And at least have
you gotta watch videos because it's not just an urge. It's not just an urge just to build yourself up, but it's also there to save your soul. It's a warning. Watch videos. Increase yourself. Once again, if you're not increasing yourself, you're not part of the elect. Because the elect will be increasing themselves. You have to increase yourself.
You want to increase yourself more. Have more channels about the elders and the apostles. Especially the apostles. Apostles, elders, and down. You know, ones with more rich lessons in it. You know? Not always about, oh, look what happened to Jake here because he went off, or like, what is it? 4 Edomites was driving a small bicycle and got hit by a piano fell from the sky, whatever. You know, come on, there'll be a time for that. But there's also a time for good lessons too.
I still like it. I just came across this precept, and this is the only precept that's like out of the ordinary for the rest. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 15. Hate not laborer's work, neither husbandry, which the Most High has ordained. And husbandry is farming. This.
We're planting seeds.
Yeah, we're planting seeds. This is farming. And laborer's work is just like other brothers. They make videos, or you watch videos, because that's also a work. Because if you're watching videos, because it's not just watching, you gotta listen. You know, if the brother's not showing anything, you don't need to watch it, but you need to listen to it. You got 2 ears. Listen to it. Make sure you're learning something. All right.
Thank you for making the difference, guys.
There's sometimes points where you lose your attention to it. You know, if you lost attention to it and you just, you know, you heard the brother just mention the precept, you're like, whoa, you gotta go back, listen to it. You know, make sure you listen to that. You don't want to just play the video just to have it on. Right? Yeah, so I like that there. It's like, hate not thou laborer's work, or hate not laborer's work, neither husbandry, which the Most High has ordained. Yeah.
1 Corinthians 14:1, follow after charity and desire spiritual gift, but rather that ye may prophesy. For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto Yahawashi. For no man understandeth him, albeit in the spirit he speaketh mystery. But he that prophesies speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort.
That unknown tongue there is speaking in different languages. When there's a common language there. Like for here in America, the common language is English. But if you're speaking like Chinese, where there's not a lot of Moabites out here, which Moab is the historical name of Chinese or China. All right, if you're speaking Chinese, all right, and there's not a lot of Chinese people out here, ain't nobody gonna understand you. That's why it says, for he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto the Most High. Because if he's speaking their edification, he's pretty much edifying nobody. For no man hath understanding him, howbeit the Spirit he's speaking. Either that, but it also can also mean when you're breaking down something, right? And it's a meat, and you're trying to break it down to, and you're not trying to break it down. You're like, and you're basically telling it to a babe in the truth. The babe can't eat the meat. He ain't gonna understand it. But yeah, I see here. But he that prophesies speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort. See, like he that speaketh in an unknown tongue edified himself, but he that prophesied edified the church. It can go both ways. So speaking in a different tongue, in a different language, it's the same thing. That's why when you see Apostle Rema, he isn't speaking in Spanish. When he makes his lessons, he ain't speaking Spanish. This is only for the brothers that speak Spanish. You know? No, I did not. You can read it. I think we're gonna close up with this. Ecclesiastes 14 and 20. Can we read that?
Unless you want to read that first.
It don't matter.
It sounds more like
I'm gonna go ahead. All right, this is 2 Timothy 3 and 16, just to get to the point. All scriptures is given by inspiration of Yahawashi and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Yahawashi may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works.
And that good works is also part of the salt. And you need to be disciplined. You need to be disciplined to even do those works. Because if you stop doing those works, all those works are going to be considered as dumb. And it's going to be looked down upon by the Most High. Like you stopped? Why? Did I tell you to stop? No.
So we see, it's adding salt to food is one thing, but adding salt and putting love into it, that's another. And you have to give your love to scriptures. You have to give your love to Yahawashi ultimately.
You just reminded me. You can tell the love of a woman by her food.
Right.
And we're considered the woman of Yahawashi. Thus, if our works, which is our food, is not what's the word? If it's half-assed, it will be shown. It'll be shown. And Yahawashi ain't gonna eat that. It's gotta be good food. Because if you truly love Yahweh Yahawashi, you could have put your heart and your soul into it. You know, Ecclesiastes chapter 14, verse 20. Blessed is the man that doth meditate good things in wisdom, that reasoneth of holy things by his understanding. He that considereth her ways in his heart shall also have understanding in her secrets. Go after her as one that traceth, and lie in wait in her ways. He that prieth at her windows shall also hearken at her doors. He that doth lounge near her house shall also fasten a pin to her walls. He that shall pitch his tent nigh unto her shall lodge in her lodging where good things are. He shall say his children under her shelter, and shall lodge under her branches. By her he shall be covered from the heat, and her glory shall he dwell. That's it. You know, that's only to the man who meditates in wisdom. Meditates upon fulfilling this work. I mean, look at Yahawashi. He did all of that. Where is he at now? At the right hand throne of Yahawashi. Of Yahweh. It's like Yahawashi at the right hand throne of Yahweh. Damn, man.
Anybody else got presets? I got It's from Peculiar Treasure, 12 Tribes, 2 Timothy 4 and 5. Watch thou in all things, endure affliction.
I know.
2 Timothy 4 and 5. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry.
Yeah.
Right, and full proof.
It's through your work, man.
Ministry,
It's through your work.
You have to put passion in this. You have to like pretty much. It's like become one.
It's the faith in the works. You gotta show it. You gotta show it.
You know?
The faith in the works. If you love Yahweh Yahawashi, you gotta show it through your works. Show it through your diligence. You know, discipline yourself as the men of old. All right.
Like
I got a priest.
You know.
He's got a priest.
This is Ephesians chapter 4 verse 1. I therefore the prisoner of the Lord beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
Yeah, and being worthy is being, fully furnished with good works. You know, and still working until our Lord comes back. Because our work doesn't stop when famine of the word hits. We still gotta remain disciplined. We still gotta remain,
Harling is not gonna get you anywhere. Being a heart
full of faith.
It says, with all lowliness and meekness, and with long suffering, forbearing one another in love. It says, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in a bound of peace.
That requires diligence, and especially because that's mainly with the apostles and elders. With the apostles and elders, they have a higher position. The higher the position, the more burden you have. The more you cannot be lazy. The more you must be disciplined. The more you must be diligent. You know.
There is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling.
I think that was it. Yeah, that was it.
Oh, second, I'm reading the highlights. Stop you. All right.
What you got?
Yeah, read your precept.
This is James 1, verse 22. Wait, did you bring this out? I don't know. James 1, verse 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
His natural face in a glass.
That's a good scripture, see?
Damn.
That's the one we're missing too, you know?
That's a good precept. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Alright, we're gonna close up. Amaji wa panyahak waram. Alright. Kahalayamla, alahayanawa.
Yahawa, Bashim, Yausha, Bashim, Barash.
Alright, I want to give the honest about the elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, sincere brothers out there, teaching truth and sincerity. Alright, Lord willing that this guest session is edifying unto you brothers out there, alright, and exhorting unto you as it was, you know, for me. I can't speak for the brothers over here, but I'm pretty sure it was edifying to them too, you know. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave it off. This is my prayer. So Shemai Yasharallah, Yahweh Alahayna wa Yahweh Achad.
Adbab!